We went from wall hacks to wall hacks. Yup, it is ABOP, and in today's video, I am going to go over everything that is now live in Season 2. I will be going over in detail all the new weapons, all the new gadgets, and the brand new specialization. Of course, I'm going to go over the brand new 5v5 game mode. I'm going to touch on private games, custom games, let's go. But I will even be talking about some of the smaller changes, such as the defibrillator change, the C4 change, how they moved some of the gadgets around, and even things like player cards, which kind of exists. I'll show you. Now there are chapters, so feel free to skip around or find what it is that you are interested in. So let's get started with the most interesting part of the video, my opinion. This update has beyond exceeded my expectations. I almost can't even wrap my head around it. It's very hard to compare to any other game, any other developers. It is such a massive update, it feels like a new game. So let's briefly talk about the new career page. Now we have a bunch of challenges that we can complete throughout the season to give us cool and unique cosmetics. A lot of these challenges and cosmetics will not unlock until later on in the season. In my opinion, this is a huge step in the right direction towards giving us something to grind for after we already grinded out the battle pass, levels, and possibly even ranked. Speaking of ranked, I am very excited for some of the rank changes they're making. There are now placement matches. You will have to go through 8 placement matches before you get into your rank, and you will be going up or down from there. And yes, this is supposed to be a more skill-based ranked system, so hopefully we can really start to see strategies evolve and really see where the game goes. Now there are even more cosmetics for ranked, including charms. There's a gold M60 skin, a platinum XP54 MP5 skin, and lastly a diamond FCAR skin or SCAR. And yes, there are private games for quick cash and bank it. And I know it sounds a little disappointing that ranked or the new 5v5 game mode isn't in there, but you can at least replicate the final round using quick cash. So now if you comment that I'm ass in one of my videos, I will ask to 3v3. Now it looks like there are player cards. Yes, if you customize your cosmetics, whatever you do, whatever poses you change, they will reflect on this little card here. As of now, it doesn't look like we can customize borders or add stats, but this is definitely a start, and I would not be surprised if there's much more to come in the future. So the brand new 5v5 game mode is very fun. I love the way the platform moves and bounces around as you're on it. It has a lot of physics behind it and it feels really cool. But the most important part about this game mode, I believe that this will be a good spot for solo players. When there's more people on your team, there's less pressure to perform super well. So having those larger teams, larger battles, it'll just be about the battle and the destruction and not so much pressure on winning. But then you add on the shorter respawn times and the ability to switch between classes and gadgets and specializations. It makes it a much more enjoyable casual experience for those that just want to hop in the game and have fun, even by yourself.
I got emoted on by developer.
Now let's start digging into the good stuff, the wall hacks. The Dematerializer is the new specialization on the medium that replaces Recon Sense. Thank you. So now you are hacking walls instead of wall hacks, and this is actually really unique, pretty cool, fits the game well, and very powerful. It allows unique plays, unique flanks, and unique escapes. It's very simple to use. You just left click to open the wall and you right click to close it. It has a ton of potential, and you will see that it does have a very few drawbacks, such as a visual distortion, but it looks pretty cool. I can't wait to see the plays that people pull off using this new, creative, unique specialization. But let's talk about the gadget that I'm most excited about, the gateway. With this new gadget, you throw one gate down first and you throw the second one down. That creates a two-way teleporter. Your friendlies can go through it, enemies can go through it, and even things that you are holding. But there's more to that. You can cook a grenade, teleport through, drop it on the enemies, and teleport back. And if you thought that was spicy, it gets so much better. You can throw objects through the gateway, and they carry momentum. This includes the vault, grenades, barrels. I haven't tested it, But if it works with the heavy grenade launcher, this could be a game changer. Throw the gateway into a building and then have your heavy just spam grenades into the gateway. But it does work both ways. Another interesting thing to note is that you will be facing the same direction that you were facing when you enter and exit the portal. If you are facing north, you will always be facing north. Now, I can't wait to see how this gadget evolves. Also, I'm wondering if it will even start to replace jump pad and zip line if you have a very good light on your team. It does have a range limit, and the only thing about the gadget so far that I don't really like that much is that the range limit is not obvious. There's really no indication that you're too far. It will simply start the first gate over again instead of opening up the second gate. This next gadget is called the Data Reshaper. This changes objects into other objects, but typically they're turned into barrels. This can be a great counter to things like C4, mines, and turrets on the objective, and it can probably come in pretty clutch when you need some utility on the fly. So I didn't really use this gadget that much because I was mainly playing the more casual style game modes, but I do believe, similar to the APS, that you will see more play in ranked because it will be more useful in those situations where people are actually denying and actively setting up near the objective. The last gadget is on the heavy class, and that is called the anti-gravity cube. This gadget is great at buying time and setting up traps. It's also really good at denying the steal on objective. Even if it doesn't completely take them off of the objective, it'll make it much easier for them to be targeted and taken care of. You can throw it on dead guys to make it harder for them to be revived. And another good thing to do with it is set up traps. You can put it into choke points, and when an enemy goes through it, it will limit their movement, making it much easier for them to be trapped and hopefully granting you a kill. I think this one's going to be more for the teams that like to defend over attack, like myself. I will probably bring this in over C4, maybe, and rely on my RPG to do entry damage and to drop the objective if I need to. But you may not have to worry so much about dropping the objective if you have the brand new shotgun. Sounds weird, right? So this brand new shotgun is a heavy hitting slug on the heavy class, and it does do destruction, not just to the enemies, but to the environment. This gun feels good, looks good, and it is great utility. It only takes about 4 shots to destroy a wall, and it looks like it's at almost any range. And this could be huge for having a bit of range destruction in your squad. Now we have the FAMAS, and I can definitely see this being a pretty good mid-range gun, especially considering that it almost has 0 recoil. It's just a little bit of vertical recoil, and that's it. Now, please don't be mad at me. Don't pull out your pitchfork, but in my opinion, it was slightly underperforming. Now, the irons are great. The burst feels great, but it just simply doesn't seem like it does a lot of DPS. But it could be a skill issue. Just how people thought the SCAR was ass when it first came out, this might be one of those weapons that just needs some time. People need to learn how to use it. Maybe I just need to hit my headshot, and that could be what makes it a good weapon. But I'm curious of what would make me pick it over the revolver. What? Bro, I'm clipping that. Oh yeah, I forgot. The revolver sucks. The last weapon that we have is on the light class, and that's the 93R. So the weapon did feel good when I used it, but it doesn't fit my playstyle. With that being said, I did not really use it enough to identify strengths and weaknesses. Therefore, I won't really give too much of an opinion on it. I would rather you formulate one for yourself when you get in game and try it out. I know that's a little disappointing, but I would rather you have accurate information than just bad opinions. Barricade is better than dome. So that's the big stuff. But now I'm going to go over a few of the little changes that they made that makes the game feel so much more balanced. My favorite adjustment by a long shot is what they did to the defibrillator. The defibrillator seems like it's going to be much easier to counter because now when you defib someone, they load in. So now if you want to use a defibrillator, you do have to put a bit more thought behind it and at least make sure they are in a safer spot or that you can defend them when you hit that defib. C4 was touched also. They They actually removed one, which I'm very surprised about, but they even changed some of the arming times on the C4 itself. Another change that they made was they put the tracking dart and the sonar grenades on light, which I feel like is a great change. The only thing that is left is the motion sensor, which was moved to heavy. At first I was a bit confused, but it does make sense considering that heavy's more of that defensive lockdown play style. Let's see how that plays out. Now, I made this video before there were patch notes, so I may not have caught everything, and I am definitely going to be going through the patch notes myself thoroughly to make sure that I have a full understanding of all the changes that they made. I really wanted to make this last segment about cosmetics, but there are so many, so I am going to make my own separate video about the Battle Pass cosmetics and everything that was put into Season 2. So stay tuned, comment, like, subscribe. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you have a great day. Thank you for watching.